Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday morning. I am, because I've got my coffee. French vanilla, yummy. The only thing I'm missing is Cool Whip. I would love to have some in the top of that, but I am out. So it's keeping me warm, and it's raining here in Kansas City. It's cold, and so coffee is gonna do me some good this morning. And I got this cute little cup. It says "Be Jolly," but be jolly, and it's just the cutest little Christmas mug. So okay, got the kids off on the bus, and now I am waiting for my hour in between. And I thought I would just kind of relax a little bit. I said yesterday's video that I'm giving myself grace for the rest of December, and this is what I'm talking about. Grace means just being calm in my spirit. It is being one with God. It is making all decisions according to what God is telling me to make. It is, enjoying the small stuff in life, like hot coffee, listening to Christmas music or Christian music, and just being so thankful for the life that I have been given. And I was listening to Christian Bot radio on the way home from the bus stop. My son was asleep in the car. I don't know why he was so tired this morning, but so I was just cranking up the radio, listening to a pastor on there. And he was talking about heaven, and he was talking about the mansions that God is preparing for us. And he said to some people, it might be just an apartment. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a mansion that he's making in heaven for us. But it kind of made me think of how appreciative you are for your home and what you have. People in other countries who live in a shack or a hut or on the ground outside, those people by force, because of the economy and the country they're in, they have no other choice but to live in that hut or whatever. And so an apartment would be a mansion to them. Here, I had a home, and I was kicked out of my home. That home now, compared to my crappy apartment I'm in, is a mansion to me. And it's not because it was a big, huge house or anything, or even a nice house at that. There was a lot of things that were broken and needed to be repaired in that house. But it is the fact that it's the things that you appreciate, and it's the things that you are thanking God for. And I do have warmth. I do have a bed that I lay in at night. I have hot water. Those are the things that are just so important to me. And so as long as I have all those things provided for me in heaven, it's a mansion. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to have to live out on the street or any of that just because I can't financially make it, or whatever. So I have a job. I don't make very much at my job, but it's a job, and I am working, and I am trying to do the best I can do with what I've got. And it's not much, but it's mine. Everything I have is things that God has just blessed me with, whether it was given to me for free or whether it was something I worked hard for and I have, or it was something I had even prior to my marriage of 9 years, and it was something I had as a single mom. A lot of my things that I have, I've had for a decade. And I look around my home and I'm just very content with the things I have. I can make any apartment, any hut, any vehicle or camper or whatever I live in, I can make it look like a home. That is one thing I'm really good at. It is something that I feel like God has really given me a gift in that area, and He always provides everything I need for that. So when my husband filed for divorce, he kicked me and the kids out of the house. And when we got kicked out of the house, I had nothing. I had cops come to my door. They told me I had to leave because of my sister-in-law got a restraining order on me. And it was just because I was asking for her to leave my home. It was nothing I really did to her or my ex-husband. It was just they wanted a divorce, and him and his sister were going to live together, and I was out. I was out of the marriage. I was out of the house, and he was going to take everything from me and the kids. And that's what pretty much ended up happening. And in my divorce, I had to fight for what I wanted. And even when I was allowed to get my stuff out of the house, I wasn't allowed to go to the house. And so, you know, I didn't have much. I didn't have anything, actually. And a lot of my stuff was stuff I had prior to marriage to him, because I had been a single mom for years before I even met my husband. So a lot of my belongings were not my husband's. They were mine and my children's, actually, a lot of it. And so, you know, it was a shock to me when I didn't have anything, but it was such a blessing in disguise that I was kicked out of the house and had to start all over again. You know, and I say again because I had to with my second marriage. It was domestic violence, and he beat me up, and he took the house just the same way as my recent ex-husband has. Took the house. He says, you're not going to live here, although he did let it go back to the bank, and he didn't pay the bills, and he's no longer in that home either. He came and took all of the stuff out of the house and was like, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And it was stuff that was even my child's. It was toys, it was clothing, it was things I had prior to that marriage. And a lot of it was gifts that were his mother's that gave me. And that's okay. She can have her stuff. I am not like that. When I give a gift to someone, that's theirs because it's a gift. But some people are just like that. And, you know, they want to take things away from you. And it was making me think, God doesn't want to take anything from you. He wants to bless you more. And every single time I've had to start over, God has blessed me even more than what I even had to begin with. So it is something that I don't have to worry about. And so when I say I'm giving myself grace over the holiday season, that's what I'm doing. I am being thankful. I'm being thankful for the things that God has blessed me with, the life He's given me, the joy in my heart. I'm not having to worry about how I'm paying my bills because they're getting paid. I don't have to worry about, even fighting my husband on this motion because it's being taken care of already. God is intervening. God is standing beside me. He's guiding me. He's telling me what to say, what to do. And I feel very joyful in my heart. I'm also giving myself time. I'm giving myself time to think about every decision I make. I'm not rushing out. I don't want to be with anybody else. I am in divorce care. I'm taking care of myself. I've been taking care of my health. I have been working really hard at my job, and on my weekends when I'm alone, I was telling divorce care last night that I spent Thanksgiving by myself alone, and it was super nice. And there was a guy in the class, and he was like, how did she do that? Like, I was doing laundry Thanksgiving at home by myself without my kids, and I was sitting there bawling my eyes out because he said, I just can't believe that this divorce has happened to me. And he says, I can't get over it, and I'm so upset. And how is she very happy about it? And I didn't know it impacted him so much. But he told me last night that he goes, you remember a couple of weeks ago when you said that you were alone for Thanksgiving and you loved every second moment of it? And I said, yeah. And he goes, he told the whole class, he said, I just was shocked that you could do that. He goes, I'm trying to figure out how do I get to a place of doing that. And a lot of the reason why I can do that is, number one, I've been single before, and I know there's going to be a lot of times when you're down, when you're going through a divorce. But it's the things that you are thankful for that will get you through those holidays alone, and that will get you through. And there's hope. There's hope. I see a big future for me. I don't really see a future as far as the world is concerned, the economy and how we're going to make it as single parents. But I see a future as far as if I died even today, I know I'm going to heaven. I'm going to have everything taken care of. God has made those promises to me. And so, I'm giving myself grace to just bask in that presence of God's glory and presence, that knowing I don't have to worry about 2023. I don't have to worry about what my ex-husband is doing, I would love to sit here and just keep praying and praying and praying and praying for my ex-husband, and that he will come back to his family. But, the more I'm single, the more I'm thinking about it. I think the divorce was for the best for both of us. I finally get to love God and rely on God to be my husband. I think ultimately that is the one thing in my marriage I missed. I was relying on my husband to be my husband, and I wasn't relying on God. And when I was a single mom before, I relied on God because I didn't have a husband. And I want to get back to that point in my life where I'm relying fully on God. If a husband comes into my life again to help me, he needs to be right with God 100%, because I don't need a husband. I want a husband to love me and to want to be in a relationship and a marriage with me, because he wants to follow what God has commanded him to do. And I don't want a husband because he thinks he has to take care of me or give me things or provide for me. I do want a husband who wants to walk beside me with Christ. That's what I want. I miss my husband, being active in care group and being active in our church and serving God together. I do miss that. There was a long period of time in our marriage where I got really sick with endometriosis. I was sick for probably 2 years, honestly. And I got to the point where I was not serving in church, and I didn't even want to go to church on Sunday mornings. It was like Satan used my endometriosis to really keep me at home all the time. I was exhausted. I was in pain. I didn't feel good. Something was wrong, and I didn't know what it was. But I didn't have that love and that support from my husband. I pretty much had, you're not the same girl. You've changed. Something's wrong with you. Yeah, I was sick. I had endometriosis. So after him pushing me going to the doctor, I had a hysterectomy. The hysterectomy really didn't help anything. It made a whole nother set of issues going through menopause. And it ruined my sexual desire for my husband, on top of how I already felt unloved and unwanted by him. And it just got to a point where I didn't want to try anymore in our marriage. He wasn't trying, and if he's not going to lead spiritually or lead in our marriage, I didn't want to try either. And so I gave up. And I did make mistakes there, not trying hard enough to please my husband. But it's still not a reason for divorce. It's not okay. So I don't want to make excuses for him and his decisions. But at the same time, God knows what he's doing. He's allowed the divorce because we're unequally yoked, because we are not thinking the same. I'm thinking, I want a husband who loves me no matter what. It's a commitment. It's a choice. On the Christian Bot Radio this morning, again, he was talking about, I think it was the pastor before the pastor I was just talking about, but it was a new pastor, and he was saying, I think it was Jimmy Evans, maybe even, and he was talking about children and how you can, show that grace to your child, and how children will look up to their parents if they are being taught in a godly way. And so, I was just thinking about that, as a marriage, if your husband is trying, if he is a Christian, if he's focused on God, he's doing everything right for you as a Christian wife. And you're going to want to love him. You're going to want to try. You're going to want to submit. You're going to want to honor him and respect him as God commanded you to, because he's showing you that love. And it's because Jesus loves us that we love him. And, it would be very easy for us to not love God if he didn't send his son to die on the cross for us. But he did. He did. He showed us love and sacrifice, and he gave up self for us, each individually, for our sins. And so we wouldn't go to hell. And, it's just reassuring that, I can say that I did what I could do with what I was given. I am very happy with my marriage, the way it was. Things changed. It changed so rapidly. And, I was in a happy marriage. I loved my husband. I think I did the best I could do, trying to show him I love him and respect him. There's a lot of things I did for his family. There's a lot of things I did for our family and our children. And now that we're divorced, I feel like, it's kind of a relief. We talked about that in divorce care. Those weekends that you have to yourself, you get to go now and do to, when your kids are with their father. You get to go do the things that you want to do for yourself. You get to join a craft class. You get to go to a movie by yourself, or out to eat, or on a vacation, or you get to join a group. And there is an app that I'm going to download, and I'm going to start joining groups, other single parents out there. And it's not a dating website. It is a, hey, I like to do this activity. Is there, let's say it's scrapbooking. I'm not really into scrapbooking, but if someone was into scrapbooking, there's scrapbooking clubs you can join. And so they meet up and they do this together. They were talking at Divorce Care. There's a hiking one that one lady wants to do. And so the father that was talking about, I don't know how you spent the whole weekend by yourself alone and you weren't upset and and you enjoyed it. That's when we started talking about the app and just meeting up with other people with the same interest as you. So I'm going to start doing that. I've gotten very active in a singles group at church, and so I am going to start doing that. And my goals for 2023 is about me. So I'm giving myself grace. I'm giving myself the time to just enjoy what I have. And when 2023 comes around, I'm going to start doing the things when I don't have my kids for me. And it is going to be building my relationship up with Christ and it's things that are going to help me focus on how to be a better mother for my children, and I am going to take care of me. You know, when I was married, if I felt that love from my husband, I think I would have wanted to take better care of myself during my marriage because I wanted to be presentable to him. I wanted to be worthy to my husband. And it was that lack of love that I felt, even 3 weeks after our marriage, that I didn't love myself during my marriage, and I let myself go. I gained a lot of weight. A lot of it was the illness. I could say I was really sick and I didn't feel good, but at the same time, I didn't feel loved, and I didn't love myself because I wasn't honoring my husband because I didn't feel the love from him. So, you know, it is a circle, and a cycle in your life that when you feel loved, like right now, I'm feeling so much love from God that I'm starting to love myself, and I'm finding out who I am in Him, right? And so that's just the words of encouragement I want to give to you this morning. Find out who you are. Give yourself grace in this time, especially over this holiday season. Everybody needs it. I'm not rushing out and joining all these groups right now and missing out on the holiday season with Christ. And I want to focus on Christ this holiday season because He is the reason for the season. And so I'm focusing on family and self. And I'm enjoying my weekends when my kids are at their dad's. And I'm enjoying the time that I have with my kids. And I'm just cherishing every second and every moment with them. And we are just being present in the moment. So give yourself grace, love yourself, and have a great day. Bye.